Alright everyone, welcome back as always, and today I have quite a few thoughts regarding Boruto. So as always, sit back and relax and listen to my deep thoughts and analysis regarding everything so far. But before we begin, our channel is sponsored by AnimeRaya.com. You can get Naruto, Dragon Ball, My Hero Academia or other anime shirts for yourself. They look pretty good and I wear them myself all the time. There is a discount code 10% off if you use ABD Squad, so be sure to do that, and cue the intro. Today's episode of Boruto was pretty good. It's really diving headstrong into the actual story we are all waiting for, and we are shown 3 Otsutsuki looking people taking out 2 Chunin members at the gates of Konoha. We then find out that Mitsuki was helping them and he leaves the village. This leads me to thinking 2 scenarios regarding Mitsuki. Scenario 1 is regarding the Otsutsuki. Since Boruto is all about the Otsutsuki clan and their planned evasion of Earth, right? We all know, much like the characters in the show that mentioned even in today's episode, that an attack from the Otsutsuki clan is inevitable to happen in the future. Therefore, we know Urashiki Otsutsuki is on Earth and is still around. He defeated Tonori Otsutsuki and has put him in a seal, and he is hanging out on the moon. We also know for a fact that Urashiki Otsutsuki is the true big bad guy out of the 3 that initially invaded, and he's the strongest. So Urashiki Otsutsuki witnessed Momoshiki and Kinshiki lose to Boruto, Naruto and Sasuke. Urashiki also has knowledge of Mitsuki and his sage mode, since he stole his chakra and mentioned that Mitsuki is the threat to the Otsutsuki clan with powers such like this. He's a threat and he called him dangerous. So all these things start to add up, guys. This is what I'm trying to theorize. Since Urashiki also possesses the ability to see in the future, he also mentions that Boruto's path could pose a threat to the Otsutsuki clan, thus he will put preemptive measures in this moment to get what he desires. He says he has a plan in his mind.
Uzumaki Boruto. いずれこちらの脅威になるかもしれませんね。今のうちに手を打っておいた方がいいか。面白いことになりそうだ。
So since Urashiki knows Boruto's destiny and Mitsuki's powers, it's highly possible that he is playing his role behind a plan that forces Mitsuki to go rogue and complete tasks for him to mess with the village of Konoha. Urashiki could have easily learned the truth of Mitsuki's powers that he stole from him, if you guys can remember, and he can learn who he is via Orochimaru's research or even seeing his future, much like what they do to Boruto's future, where they can see it. Orochimaru is very adamant that Konoha absolutely cannot know who Mitsuki is and they cannot comprehend his powers. Therefore, Urashiki leaving a note of a threat for him in his room could expose everything or something along those lines. This would also kinda explain why 3 Otsutsuki looking clansmen come to pick up Mitsuki from Konoha, or maybe they are not even Otsutsuki members but 3 rogue ninjas that have been brainwashed, possessed or whatever it may be, but they're clearly evil and they may be working with Urashiki. Now that's one scenario. You can let me know your thoughts and opinion in the comment section below as always, because it's great as we as a community let each other know what we're thinking, and that's what makes this whole process fun, right? Now let's move on to scenario 2. So last week I explained the concept of free will and how Mitsuki is starting to question his existence and whether or not he is making decisions himself or is he programmed to have a destiny. This whole Mitsuki arc, whilst obviously something may be happening in the back end, right, it may also be exploring the idea of free will. In one way, Mitsuki must be trying to test himself on whether or not he has been brainwashed or pre-programmed for his conscious thoughts by his father Orochimaru. Mitsuki knows he hasn't been created by procreation but via organic technology, right? So if he betrays Konoha and pretends to be evil, this will foil Orochimaru's plan for him if he was being controlled. So he is choosing to rebel, linking back to what Boruto said to him in episode 71, "Have you never thought of rebelling against your father?" And Mitsuki said no, so maybe he's deciding to do that now to test his consciousness. So as I mentioned last week, Mitsuki is very intelligent, more than the generation of characters he is in, proven by him knowing advanced formulas taught in class and even understanding philosophy. Mitsuki biologically seems to be 4 to 5 years old but is 12 just like the rest of the group for a reason. Orochimaru wanted this to occur, so he ends up with Boruto. Mitsuki also hasn't been brought up by traditional means like a normal human such as Boruto. Boruto had a family, he learnt culture, he learnt language and behavior from people around him and with his family. So this means, with logic, we know that Orochimaru somehow has instilled knowledge into Mitsuki about the world, or the understanding of concepts that surround him. This obviously also explains why Mitsuki acts in the manner that he does. Everything is a learning process for him, and that's why his attachment to Boruto means so much more to him, because Boruto is making Mitsuki learn the meaning of life and the world that surrounds him via his moral compass, his speeches and actions. This is why Boruto is Mitsuki's son. Mitsuki is one of my favorite characters because essentially he is a ninja who must and is forced to think outside the box due to his nature and upbringing. This essentially makes him the bridge that fulfills the gap between the other characters due to providing another perspective to what they're thinking. I mean, think about it guys, he's done it for multiple people already such as Boruto, Sarada, Chocho and Iwabe and more. I believe parts of this arc might explore the idea of Mitsuki's origin and thoughts of him that he's having right now. He is not rogue because he wants to do it, but rather he is forced to one way or another to be rogue. Shikamaru mentioned it today in the episode that Orochimaru's research is vital and good to have on the side against the Otsutsuki. It's one of the reasons why they accepted Mitsuki in the first place. Tsunade also mentions that we never know what Orochimaru's plan may be and doesn't trust him, which is true. Even the fans like us, we've always speculated and are confused. That's what makes Orochimaru one of the greatest villains of the franchise, and I like him. Another thing I noticed in today's episode is Boruto's characterization. Boruto is much like his father Naruto in his ideology on how he views people around him. Boruto even schools Sarada about her idolization of Naruto, but doesn't even follow in his ideals when he mentions, do you want to be a Hokage or just a powerful shinobi? He even says, I didn't expect this from you Sarada, what happened to the benefit of the doubt of your nakama? Something along those lines. This is a line that Boruto must have gathered from being like Naruto and Sasuke, since Sasuke is his sensei and has told him about his past, not specifically mentioning himself of course, but telling him about a man who sought power to take on the world on his own but failed. This was a very nice touch. It was a really good line from Boruto. It parallels nicely with Sasuke's mantra about what the Hokage is and how Naruto sees the Hokage too, and how he is completely different from everyone else that we have ever seen at being in that position. In the early years of Naruto, what made it so successful and created so much character development for such a vast cast was the retrieval arc, or the Chunin exams, right? So the Boruto writers must be thinking they kinda need to do the same thing for all of the new generation of characters in Team 7, which is why Mitsuki is getting this sort of special treatment in the first place. We've seen Mitsuki have that ride or die mentality for Boruto throughout the series, so to see the roles reversed and have Boruto to be so adamant to get his friend back, it's good progression for their character, and their bonds will be seen in the future of why it's the way it is. Up to this point in the series, their friendship has been kind of one-sided in terms of how much one thought and cared about the other. Mitsuki clearly is a freaking meme at this point. You know, he kind of wants to, you know what I'm saying, kind of go, I don't know what he's doing with Boruto. He has a picture of him in his bedroom, and that ship has already been sailed for some fans. So this arc may balance that out for a bit, and Boruto will see his teammate Mitsuki in a new light, or as a moon per se, you know, the sun and the moon metaphor and everything else. Also, I don't know why the fanbase or Boruto fans think this is filler that we're watching right now, because that doesn't make sense to me. I don't think this is filler. Why are they making a 1 hour Mitsuki special at the end of this arc? Why would they put that much effort if it was 100% filler? In fact, Kishimoto is very involved in Boruto, both the manga and the anime, by being the supervisor. So I think if Kishimoto says this okay, then I think there's a bit and pieces of canon storytelling that's going on here. Like the Chocho arc was specifically altered and had dialogue by Kishimoto himself, which he wanted us to know about. So if it's all a simple case of you just thinking Boruto is trying trash, so it's filler to you, then that's fine. You can have your opinion. I mean, obviously the fan base will call you a hater, but in my opinion, from what I've gathered so far, I don't think what we're watching is filler at the moment. Today's episode was really good and far better than most that we have gotten from the past. Like, even Kryptonian Sane, another YouTuber that you may know, thinks the stuff that we are watching right now is canon, because we both know that Aokya Kadachi does the story, and we can call this extended canon if you want to. Stuff we have considered filler in the past, for example, have still been referenced in the Kodachi novels for the anime and is canonized later on. I don't know why they would put tidbits of information so specific to the story that close plot holes from the manga, like Mitsuki questioning his consciousness, Naruto telling everyone who Mitsuki's parents are in today's episode and then them reacting to it. Why would this be filler? It actually solidifies the manga a lot more and makes it fine. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts and opinion in the comment section below, and join me next week, and hit the notification bell for more theories and analysis on Boruto the anime. See you guys.